Hello and welcome to my review of Time Heist. Now, before I start, I would just like to say I will try and get round to my review of Listen, which was going to be uploaded on Sunday, well last Sunday, but I sort of forgot about the review and I hadn't really watched it properly, so I need to find time to watch it and give my full sort of in-depth thoughts on it. So yeah, I will rewatch it at some point. But first of all, I'm going to review Time Heist, which is the 5th episode of Series 8, Peter Capaldi's first season or series or whatever. And so basically, the plot is that the Doctor is sent on a mission to rob a bank, and that's basically what the story's about. It's basically the Doctor robbing a bank with Clara, but Clara is about to go on a date, but the Doctor drags Clara into his adventure, and they go off to the Bank of Carabraxos, and yeah, there's all sorts of things that they have to be aware of. There's Madame Fox, I think it's called, her name is, I can't remember, but yeah, they have to be aware of her, because there is a bit of a secret behind their character, and of course they have to be aware of the Teller, which is a monster or alien or whatever you want to call it, that basically feeds off guilt, and I thought it's a very good idea, and I love the Teller as well. It was a really good design, and just I loved its sort of appearance, and I loved the fact that it had two eyes, and the eyes were used to, suck the guilt out of someone, and their heads would like flat out, which was quite a cool effect. And so they have to rob the Bank of Carabraxos, and it's the Teller basically recognises what you're thinking, and if you're guilty, it will basically drain all the. It'll basically treat you like soup, and it will drink your guilt, basically. And also, it's quite. Well, this was written by Steven Thompson, so I thought maybe it's not going to be as good as I'd like it to be, but I actually really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's probably one of my favourite episodes of the series so far. My top three are now Deep Breath, Into the Dalek and Time Heist so far, because I just thought Listen, and well, I will have to rewatch Listen, but from what I saw of it, it looked really boring, and just didn't look any good, to be honest, as everyone says it is. And Robot of Sherwood was just not as good as the other two episodes, which is why it's not in my top three. It was an okay episode. I have rewatched it, and I've sort of realised, actually, this is not particularly any good, to be honest. It's probably the weakest out of the series, joint with Listen, in my opinion. But I know in my review I said I liked it a lot, but if I'm honest, I didn't. No, but anyway, yes, Time Heist. You have a few new characters to help the Doctor and Clara with their mission, and they are Sabra, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Sai. I like them. I thought they were quite good characters. I liked the actor who played Sai, and I thought the actress who played Sabra was pretty good as well. But yeah, I thought he was probably the best thing about the story, as well as the Teller. Besides Jenna, Coleman and Peter Capaldi, I thought Sai and the Teller were both pretty outstanding in the episode, as well as the Fox woman, But it turns out that later on in the episode we find out that she is in fact a clone. There's quite a few plot twists in the story as well, which are quite good. And I just thought, no, that's a pretty clever idea. And her original self doesn't want all these clones running around the place, so she basically kills them, or she fires them, and then I think their way of firing people is death. I'm not too sure, but that was quite a nice plot twist. And it turns out also later in the episode that it wasn't really a bank robbery. It was more or less a rescue mission, because I think the teller's sort of friend or wife, I'm not sure what relation the other teller had with the first teller, but let's just assume they're friends, and basically they imprisoned the other teller, which is quite sad if you think about it, but I thought it was quite a nice touch to the story, that it had a bit of, it made you feel sorry for the teller that was, caged up, and I love the bit when the doctor said, this is not a bank robbery, this was a rescue mission. I thought that was good. So I did like the script. I thought the script was good, and I thought the actors played the roles brilliantly, and like I said, I love the teller. Fantastic creation, and a good idea as well to create an alien that feeds off guilt. It's basically like it sort of reminds me of a lying detector. It detects whether or not you're lying, but it's probably a lot different from that. But I thought the teller was great. The fox woman was good, and her original character was good as well. So I think this is probably Steven Thompson's best episode that he has written, because The Curse of the Black Spot was rubbish for me. Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS was a bit of a letdown, but Time Heist was in fact Steven Thompson's best episode, I reckon, and I believe Stephen Moffat also helped Stephen Thompson write the episode, which was, I don't know what bits in the episode Stephen Moffat wrote, but I think a lot of it was down to Stephen Thompson really. So you gotta give hats off to him. So I think the ending of the story was very controversial. A lot of people seem to hate it, and a lot of people seem to like it. Me, I wasn't bothered by it really. I thought it was, that was a nice ending. It wasn't. I wasn't angry by this ending. I was more or less, just fine with it. But a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's cheesy. It's awful." But no, I'm not bothered by it really. I thought it was, the story's over. You've watched it. Because I do think this story is a bit of a hit and miss. It's a bit of a Marmite story as well. You either hate it or you love it, or you like it rather. So me, I like it. I like the story. I think it's better than Listen and Robot of Sherwood, because, like I said, the my favourites so far are Deep Breath, Into the Dalek, and Time Heist. Yeah. So what else to say? I love the CGI effects that we used for. I think it was it was set and filmed in Cardiff, and I think the CGI just made it look beautiful. I really like that effect, and I love the slow motion effects that we used when the teller was making its first appearance in the story. There's quite a lot of that when they showed the teller as well. And I just thought the whole story itself was enjoyable. I think there are a few people that didn't really find the characters that interesting, or they weren't engaged within the story, but I liked it for what it was, better than Robot for Sherwood for me, and Listen, but obviously you can think differently. So yeah, thanks for watching this review. I will try and get around to reviewing Listen at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye. Oh, if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 7 out of 10. So thanks for watching and goodbye.